Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Harlem. So, this episode started where it left off last time with Camille rushing because she realizes that she is way late for her meeting with the professor, Dr. Pruitt. Listen, I had to get my lips right. So, anyway, but in the midst of her rushing, trying to get her life together because she has spent the night with Jameson, um, she realizes that he has been sitting up there analyzing her. He has looked her up and he is doing the most. And that's the only reason why he was able to tap into how she get down and who she is as a person. And it's like, you could have found that out genuinely. Like, she had a genuine connection to you. And I feel like the little bit that he did know about her from the intellectual side would have been enough to be able to open her up for him to get to know her instead of him going through all of these extreme measures. And I'm just like, sir, you done did the most for no reason. So she talk about you over here doing all this. This the only reason why you knew that I was a Gemini. This the only reason why you knew that I like Red Lobster and was gonna be there. This the only reason why you knew all of these things. And he was like, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, I genuinely thought you were cute and I looked you up and we ended up being on the same panel and all this other stuff. So, child, she like, look, I ain't got time for this. I'm late. Let me leave before the doors close on me or something. Because at this point, she doesn't know what he is capable of. He could be a killer. Nobody knows. And she does. So she goes to the schoolhouse. And people are literally leaving from an area that Professor Pruitt is in. Dr. Pruitt, whatever she calls herself. Y'all, I'm probably saying this woman's name wrong and everything else. Let me make sure. But the person who Whoopi Goldberg is playing. Y'all, I should have had me some tea. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, it is Dr. Pruitt. So anyway, I should have brought me some tea. I should have had me some over here while I'm doing this because my voice is going to be trying me since I'm supposed to be winding down. So yeah, y'all. Anyway, Dr. Pruitt, she met up with like a whole gang of students or whatever. And I guess because she is over that department, she had a meeting and all these people had to come and it let out. And it is what it is. And so she was like, Dr. Pruitt, I was in your office. And she was like, yeah, okay. I was in my office at the appointed time. So not sure what you're talking about. That has nothing to do with me. And so she was like, look, Camille, there are two things that I don't tolerate. And that ever says something about like the bosoms and things being out like that and tardiness. And so she really wants to be a part of the Seneca village stuff or whatever. And so she was like, well, I mean, you're not going to be able to be working on it in the capacity that you want to. Your student is going to be the one who is heading that up. And so she's going to actually have to assist her. And she feels some type of way about it. And she like, oh, well, I mean, the person who got it was the one who wasn't late. And that was your student. Whatever. So we see Ty in bed with the woman who ended up doing her interview that she had the one night stand with, and she is on a natural high. She feels some type of way. Like, she never expected to feel the way she felt after everything went down the way it did on the set where they took her pictures and all of that for Forbes, if I'm not mistaken. Is it Forbes, y'all? Okay. So anyway, I feel like I'm all over the place. I feel like my head is in a fog a little bit because I'm supposed to be winding down. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but it's okay. So anyway, yeah, she's all over, she's just coming down off a natural high. It's to the point where she is like inviting this woman out places and wanting to go out on a date. Like, they are basically about to become official. And she looking like, what? So I'm not just gonna have to be a one night stand? What? Oh, okay. And so, like, it's interesting, but it's gonna become a problem sooner than later because I've already seen it and it is what it is. So anyway, we then see, I want to make sure I say her name correctly. We then see Quinn, and she is actually trying to do a one night stand with the stripper. And he woke her up to breakfast in bed that he cooked and made and all this other stuff put together. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to decline because this is supposed to be a one night stand type of a situation. Like, I don't know what you think it's gonna be, but no. And then she was like, on second thought, I might take a couple of bites and don't think that this has anything to do with anything because this is just gonna be for my blood sugar. And then she talking about the bacon was cooked perfectly and all that, and they were about to have like a moment where they were about to revisit the happenings and the goings on of last night, and in bursts in a child. And so she looking like, what's going on over here? And then his grandmama come in rushing behind the child. It's his child. Some little boy named JJ. Wouldn't surprise me if he is named after him. But anyway, well, I think his name is Sean, but you know what I'm saying. But it still might be short for junior, or something like that. People really do that stuff. So I don't know. But anyway, he trying to figure out why his grandmama there, and she trying to figure out how in the world is she in this predicament. And I'm just like, girl, you have the worst luck in the world because everybody always has some foolishness with them. She's mortified because she was pretty much naked. The child has seen it, the grandmama has seen it, and so she's gonna leave. The child has seen the boobies out. And so now she is talking to Angie, and Angie is expressing to her how she is not going to be able to do what she's been doing while acting, because with the acting that's going on, them checks ain't paying nothing. And so she's like, I'm going to have to keep this nanny gig up in order to keep my head above water. And she is just like, look, I'm going to have to go back over to old boy house. I don't want to, but I've left a necklace over there. And this necklace is very sentimental to her. And so she's like, I think I ran out of there so fast. I left it by the bed. I need to get it. I got to do what I got to do and all of that. So I'm just like, girl, you done did the most. So we see Camille out and about, and she's like at a outdoor sales place. I don't know if it's a flea market, it's like a flea market or a outdoor market type situation that seems like it caters to Black culture, if you will, or just, you know, cultural differences and all of that. And so it used to be a place where her ex Ian mama used to go all the time. She and her, they used to go all the time, meet up there and shop. And so she's trying to make it seem like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I guess our schedules have been mixing up and I've just been missing you. And she was like, yeah, maybe you just haven't been coming on the days that we used to go together so that you can avoid me because you're not with my son anymore. But do what you do. So anyway, she has invited her to her retirement party because she's retiring and leaving New York. She over here talking about her son is not going to be able to attend, so she expects her to be there. And so she talking about she going to have to think about it or whatever. And apparently that's something that New Yorkers say when they ain't going to show up. And so she was like, yeah, I know how that game go. Be there. It is what it is. And walked off before she could even try to come up with another lie. Well, all the ladies have met up again like they normally do. And they're talking, letting everybody know about their day and what all has happened. And it is what it is. So then we see Camille and Quinn go out by themselves because she's going to try to accompany her to the function. Well, when she gets to the door, Ian answers the door. And it's like, yeah, of course he would be here. It is her son, but at the same time, it's like, come on now. Well, then we see Ty out on a date with the woman. And she, you know, is really trying to introduce her to her friends and all this other stuff. But she's having moments where she feels like her Blackness is doing a lot. Her Blackness is doing a lot, and that the interracial thing ain't really working for her. She feel like at one moment, the women that are on the gay scene are looking at her like, girl, you sell out. It's already bad enough you gay. Look at what you're doing. Like, I feel like that's how that girl looked at her. It was like a gay couple, a black lesbian couple that walked past. That's the way she looked at her. She really looked at her like, girl. Then later on, the dude saw them together, and it was like, he was a, I guess, straight Black male with a white woman. And so she just felt some type of way, but now she's trying to make it seem like, oh, well, I think I'm gonna take a rain check. And so she's not gonna go to the, these functions anymore with the woman to introduce folks because now she feeling some type of way. And it's like, girl, go with your heart. Stop doing this. People are expecting to see you. So anyway, we then see Ian's mama at her retirement party and announcing to everybody that she's moving away. And Quinn has actually decided that she does not want to go back over to where Sean lives, the stripper. And she has given him the address to where they are at currently so that he can bring the necklace. And so, she just feels some type of way. And it's like, girl, you should have told him how you felt when you first saw him. Because every time we look up, you're having deeper and deeper feelings about Ian, and Ian don't know what is hidden for. And he should. Like, I feel like he feel the vibes, but whatever. So anyway, fast forward to Angie and Ty. They met up, and so she trying to figure out why she ain't there and what's going on. And so she was like, okay, well, she's not here, obviously. And so this is when she lets her know that she's white. And so she feels some type of way about it. And now she's actually trying to analyze the situation for herself and go off of what she thought everybody else thought. And I'm like, girl, go with your heart. Like, if that's what it is, do what you do. And I know that she feels some type of way because she has this deal out there, all this money she gonna make. And a lot of people feel like a lot of these black people make it. And when they get on, you already know. So anyway, that's what she looked like. She feel like she giving off, and she don't want to be like that. But it's like, okay, but if the person you're supposed to be with is white, then it is what it is. Do what you do. So then we see old boy show up, and instead of him being able to just hand off the necklace and go on by his business, Ian's mama done took over the situation. It's like, oh, I've never really seen you with anybody like that. Oh, okay. Have something to eat. He over here eating ribs and some more. He done made himself comfortable. He had like 5 plates of ribs. And, he is the one who has done the sauce and all this stuff. So the food apparently is amazing. So then we see, I don't know why I wanted to call her one of my coworkers' names, but anyway, we see Camille. Her name starts with a C too, who I'm talking about. We see Camille in the kitchen going back and forth with one of Ian's aunts because he was going back and forth with her. And so, she was reading. That aunt be reading. The aunt be reading. And so the aunt is pretty much going off on him about the restaurant that he's working at. And it's the location that she's talking about because I guess it was raised. And, she was like, that man fell asleep at the fryer like once or twice or whatever and all of this. But, I mean, the place was pretty much going downhill and, Camille trying to give him backup or whatever. So they having a moment where they talking and now he over here asking her to pass stuff in the kitchen because, of course, they have had their moments where they have come to visit. If they had gotten married, the house would have been given to them. So she knows her way around that kitchen because of his culinary skills and how she was one of those people that was helping out and doing all of that. Cool, whatever. But it's just a lot that's going on. And she is just like, I feel like we should be able to discuss what has happened with that and to move forward and to make that space welcoming to the Black community because they are outraged with what has happened. And that's why all the little protesting things are happening. So they have agreed to meet up for some sort of like museum hunt so that they can put some Black art up in there to make it more friendly, like I said. So anyway, Ian's mama done made an announcement and she leaving New York and all this other stuff. So yeah, it's a lot that's going on here. Everybody is in their own little world. Old girl Ty sat up here and met up with old girl. And so she basically told her that she's breaking up with her. And she's like, really? This is what you do? So she tied. And she called her, a crappy person pretty much. Because it's like, why would you do that? Like, everything is going fine, but you're doing this only because I'm white. Oh, okay. So something that has happened is that Ian's fiance asked Quinn to do her dress for her. And the thing is, while this situation was going on with the retirement party, the stripper sat up there and he had a vibe with the fiance, right? They were talking about how she wanted to do certain things or whatever. And so he spoke Quinn up because Quinn was like, I got so much stuff going on. I need money to save my business so I don't have to have my parents bail me out all the time. This woman was talking about giving like $25,000 or something for the dress. So she pretty much was like, okay, knowing that her friend is the ex of the husband. So it's like, do you take money over the friendship or what? Because you know it could ruffle some feathers. So at this point, later on, the girls meet up. She finds out about it, and it is what it is. And so she was like, look, it's not a Camille show. I need the money. It ain't got nothing to do with that. And like, everybody is done. Everybody tired. It's too much going on. That's the end of it, y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the recap review of Harlem. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Give this video a thumbs up. Let's get down in the comment section and discuss all of this drama.